Going skiing this weekend? Here's 5 easy tricks that you can learn in and around the terrain park at your local hill. First up, we're gonna do the tail press. This one's super fun because you get a bit of a weightless feeling as you're going over a knuckle. Make sure you're comfortable getting a little bit of air first off whatever knuckle or roller you're gonna be doing this on. You don't need to drag your tails the first time. So all you need to do is come over, just get a slight bit of air off the knuckle, and then extend your legs so your tails are pressing into the snow. So with this one, it's super important to control your speed. If you go too big, then you won't be able to reach down and drag your tails on the snow. If you go too small, it'll be too hard to extend your legs and get into that press position. One way to step this up is to add a nollie into it. So what you're gonna do there is just pop off of your noses as you're coming over the knuckle, and then shift your weight to bring your tails down and drag them along the snow like you did before. You don't need to push super hard off the nollie, just enough to pop off of your noses and then get enough air to drag your tails on the ground. Next up, we got the tail tap. This is a great step up from the tail drag that we just did. That incorporates basically doing the same thing, airing over something, extending your legs so that your tails drop down, and then tapping whatever's underneath you. It's a cool way to do something on the rail without actually hitting it, and it's a great way to get comfortable riding up to a rail feature before you want to hit it. All right, another fun trick if you have a hip feature is just going 90 to switch. This is also a great progression if you haven't done a 180 yet, because you can do half of it and then land and switch still. So with this one, come in nice and slow. After you come off the corner, look up the hip, the landing of the hip, and then just rotating your skis slightly so that they match the landing of the hip when you come into it. Then this will help you come around to switch. Next up, we got the ollie, inspired from skateboarding. This one's a super fun one because you can do it literally anywhere on the mountain, even on completely flat ground. The best place to start is just on flat ground, standing still with these ones. What it involves is just leaning back, bending your skis, popping off your tails. If you have a banana on a table, imagine rocking it back and then snapping it up like this. Once you're comfortable doing it on flat, getting that springing motion, then you can practice taking a bit of speed into it just on a kind of flat ground before you take it to any knuckle or roller feature. Next up is nollie. This one's basically the same as an ollie, but it's just off of your noses. With this one, you want to make sure you keep your core super tight, so when you're bending over the tips of your skis, you don't lose control. Once you have enough weight on the tips of your skis, you just snap off the noses like that, and that's all there is to it. Next up, we got fakie ollie or switch ollie. So this one's gonna be a nollie, but going switch. So you're gonna be riding switch and then lean forward, put pressure on your noses, and then do the same ollie motion, but going backwards. With the switch ollie, it's super important that you keep your weight evenly distributed over both of your skis. Otherwise, when you come back down to land, you might catch an edge or tip over. All right, next up, we got the tripod butter. This one's fun because you can do it literally anywhere on any slope. With this one, you want to find a nice, gentle slope to get started. It's easier to do this one while moving rather than trying to practice it standing still. So for this one, you're just going to want to reach forward over the tips of your skis and plant your hands in the snow. You'll notice here, I can't really reach the snow fully. That's why it's easier to do this one with speed. Once you get a bit of speed and you plant your hands, your tails of your skis will raise up, and then you'll be in the tripod butter. This one's gonna be easier to do without poles because you're gonna be dragging your hands in the snow, and you wanna be sure to keep your hamstrings, your glutes, and your core really engaged so you're not collapsing, that you're staying nice and straight. If you wanna add some extra stees, pop back out 180 to forwards and ski out, or you can just go to switch. Either one is chill. Hope you have fun learning these 5 tricks next time you're out shredding. If you don't happen to have a park at your local hill, you can check out this video on tricks you can do anywhere on the mountain.